easier it is to sell souls.
There is a new price on freedom, so buy into it while supplies last. Changes need to be made. No more curbside baggage. 7 p.m. curfew. Racial profiling will continue with less bitching. We've unified over who to kill, so until I find more relevant scripture to quote, remember, our God is bigger, stronger, smarter, and much wealthier. So wave those flags with pride, especially the white part.
We're selling addictive 24-hour candlelight vigils in TVs. Freedom will be defended at the cost of civil liberties. The viewers are glued to television screens, stuck, cause lots of things seem too sick. I use opportunities to pluck heartstrings for theme music. I show you which culture to pump your...
We're recording.
All right, welcome to the Grift. Welcome back for season 2. I'm the Reverend Al.
I'm Gonzo.
Gonzo is having a day, so bear with him a little bit. He got some bad-ish news, weird responsibility stuff that shouldn't be his responsibility. So, yeah, do you want to just dive into it, or do you want to talk about that?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, fair. Okay, let's just not.
It would just be me yelling for the next hour, and
That is fair.
nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Not about this.
Well, let's just dive into the news then, shall we?
Okay.
Because, well, how was your Thanksgiving?
I worked.
You did. That's right.
So-
I hung out with you a bit.
Yeah, it was fine.
Did you have a good time?
It was fine.
For
Food
those
was
out
good.
there,
Food was good.
we
All the food at the potluck was good.
we had potluck. Our company bought food.
That
I bought food for people. You know.
those sweet potatoes that Rachel brought late because she was told the wrong time by Claire. The Gulfport lesbians do not have their shit together.
No, they don't.
Rachel almost got hit by a car this afternoon.
Oh my God! Again?
Yeah,
Again?
no, it was
'Cause
like
she has
some
not had the
woman
best
was-
luck.
Some woman was like, when I first walked outside, some woman was like screaming at her about how it was like, as a cyclist, it was her responsibility to yield. And
Jesus Christ!
I don't know exactly what happened, but she almost got hit by a car again.
Wonderful. That's
Gulfport lesbians.
Gulfport lesbians like to bicycle around our beautiful city, but our city tries to be both bike friendly and car friendly in the same spaces.
It is weird that this region is simultaneously one of the most bike friendly and one of the most bike dangerous places in the country.
Right.
Like they really try to be bike friendly and they're really bad at it.
Because they're heavily traffic friendly in the same areas.
Right. Well, part of the problem is we're considered super bike friendly because we have so many dedicated trails.
Right.
But you have to ride on the road to get anywhere despite those trails.
Yep. There's.
And like it's bad. It's
yeah,
bad.
The Pinellas County Trail is great, but
The Pinellas Trail's amazing. I loved it when I was a bike commuter, but I mean,
but once you get on and off of
look at
that to
the
get around the
number of
city,
people we've known who've just been like fucking hit by cars in the last month.
yeah, I mean, Leaf, yeah, that's just it's.
I don't know if her finger's ever going to be the same.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Like, apparently, like the tip is broken and up and almost
Ow.
poking through the skin. Like,
oh, yep.
yeah, constant screaming pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She types.
The nail's about to fall off. Like,
Oh
it's
no.
got that fucking splint on it.
Yeah. Not.
Will she be able to play bass again? Will she be able to fucking crochet and knit again? I don't know.
It's rough. The city, it has a bunch of bike lanes. It turned a major street into a technical, the whole street is a bike lane, but there's also traffic on it. They allow cars with it. And so.
And the drivers here fucking hate cyclists.
They do.
It's aggressive.
Yeah.
They aim for you. I
And-
know, because I've been hit 3 times.
And the city really needs to do more to. I mean, here's the thing: you cannot have a dense downtownish area, right? And a dense urban center that is bike and walk friendly, which it's trying to do,
Right.
and it should be because
It should be. I think they should just ban cars from Central Avenue from 34th to Beach.
I'd be okay with
Just
it.
have North and First South be your main in and out thoroughfares.
I'd even
Put some parking along First North and First South.
I'd even be fine with starting it at like 16th and down because
somewhere like it's
because it would still reduce the amount of cars on Central.
and then give us some goddamn like shade and rain cover, sun and rain cover, because there's
Yeah.
none. There's along that entire stretch from beach to 21st where the bar is,
Right.
there is about 100 yards of cover, of awning cover.
Yeah, there's
And
not a
that's
lot.
A mile, a little over a mile and a half.
And I don't know if anybody knows this, but it gets hot in St. Petersburg, Florida. It gets sunny.
It's really fucking annoying.
It's named the Sunshine City because it has the world record for the most consecutive days.
It was like over a year, right?
Yeah, it was over a year where they like.
I mean,
where-
they counted it as a day that had sunshine.
Right. It was a day that had sunshine, but it was
Not that there was no rain for
Right.
that many days.
but like a significant period of sunshine, like at least like an hour.
I think it was like at least 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was like 528 days
It
or
was
something like
something
that, consecutive
ridiculous.
days. And that was back before we fucked up the climate.
Yeah, no shit.
Because we get more rain now in weirder patterns.
Yes, no,
Like it used to be. I mean, I remember when I first moved here, you had no rain between middle November till middle of April.
right.
Like there literally wasn't a cloud in the sky
Yeah.
for like 7 months. And then from like April through November, you had an hour of absolutely torrential rain somewhere between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. every single day, and it was bright and sunny otherwise. You could plan your goddamn day around it.
Yeah, and I mean, when I first moved down here, now going on 11 years, it was very similar. Like sometime between 3 and 6, there'd be this big thunderstorm, right?
The only time
and
there
then
was
there'd be
an
like a
outlet-
thunderstorm at like night, mostly over the bay.
Yeah.
Right at like 9 p.m.
And the only outlier was like if you happen to have a tropical front come through.
Yeah.
But we also like never really got hit
Right.
until we got 2 in a row, 10 days apart.
Yeah, the weather around here keeps the patterns keep changing from the usual pattern even since I've been here, and it's like this is weird.
I just think it's amazing that I remember here. I didn't know it at the time. We heard the roof of the trop get ripped off.
Yeah, we did. We were that close to it when it came through. We were only like 6 blocks away.
Yeah.
That's where we were. We could see it from outside. Like, and remember that time I was standing on there holding onto the stop sign because the wind was so
the wind
heavy.
was at like 130 miles an hour at that point. 130, 140 miles an hour. You're just holding onto a street sign. In your fucking sandals.
I was wearing sandals, a poncho, and nothing else.
Oh yeah, that's right. You weren't wearing anything else. Yeah. And then this year, because Donald Trump protected us, not a single hurricane or storm, not even a real storm.
That we are. I know we say this a lot on the show because we are living in a really dumb period of human history right now. But I have never in my life thought that we would get to a point where a sitting member of the cabinet, the Secretary of DHS,
Theoretically, a serious job with a serious department.
theoretically one of our most serious jobs.
Yeah, like one of our most. I mean, we didn't need it until 25 years ago, but theoretically,
right, like
our most serious department.
the functions that happened under it, except for TSA, which is new, but there used to be a smaller agency that like oversaw airport security in there, right? But aside from TSA, all the other functions, like FEMA, right? Like, were ones that we took seriously for a reason. And
they stayed largely nonpartisan.
Yeah.
I mean, it still was always like punitive and police statey, but it was nonpartisanly punitive and police statey.
Right. And I have many, many, many criticisms against, especially TSA.
It was all security theater. Like, it didn't accomplish a goddamn thing.
But like FEMA serves a valuable function in our society, and it used to. I don't know whether or not it's going to continue to.
We didn't have to find out this year. We got real fucking lucky.
Really fucking lucky. But the director of DHS personally thanking the president for keeping the hurricanes away this year.
Well, he turned off the Jew-built weather control machine that the Democrats apparently have. Remember? See, the Jewish space lasers shoot down from space and they're controlled by the Democrats.
Like I don't even know if I can joke about this.
It's not a joke.
Because
it's
everything is so dumb it's become funny to me. But this was a bar that when we hit it, I went,
I don't even want things to get better anymore. I just want them to stop getting worse.
That's
all
you know
I
what?
want.
You and I are in different. I have turned into a mass accelerationist, and I don't mean accelerating towards the communist revolution or anything like that. No. I mean, I think possibly this is a sign that in the freest, wealthiest, most educated nation in the history of humanity.
All in quotes. All in air quotes.
But we reached a legal system and a system of education and a system of economics that was the pinnacle of the human race's achievements, right? Mm-hmm. And we have decided to become this. I don't think the species deserves good things.
I very aggressively hate the American people right now.
I do
too. I am...
But we are a symptom of the rest of the species probably being a problem.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the rest of the species problem, did you see, and I have not looked into the details of this, apparently the UK has done away with jury trials for any crime that gets you less than 3 years in prison. All just bench trials from now on.
Wow.
Yeah, any crime that will get you less than 3 years, if you're convicted, no more jury trials.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean,
I don't trust anyone in charge of the UK. Like, I might...
Right?
All right, they're less dumb than us, but I trust them less.
Yeah, I mean, and look, their legal system, like all legal systems, is flawed, right?
I've seen a fish called Wanda, I know.
But it's definitely not the garbage hot mess that ours is. Like, and it's not as institutionally and culturally punitive as a nation as we are.
Right.
Like, it exists. Again, all groups of humans have this huge set of flaws where our fifis override our sense, right? And our sense of, like, rage and injustice takes over in dumb ways, which is why we don't generally allow, like, sentencing to be decided by victims' families, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. Like, one of the dumber things that the United States has started to do is that whole, like, victim statement bullshit during trials.
Yeah.
Like, at sentencing.
And what I do find fascinating is that they only take it into consideration if the family wants it to be extra punitive.
Yeah.
Like, if the family's like, we as a family do not believe in the death penalty. Please do not sentence this person to death. We don't believe that's appropriate. Fuck you. They're going to put them to death if they want to.
Yeah, when they're like, please don't destroy this person's life any more than it is necessary.
Then they've already done to themselves.
Yeah. Like,
don't increase the amount of human suffering unnecessarily.
Right. When you get a family that is both moral and ethical and capable of empathy there, and they go into one of those trial at the end of the trial during the sentencing,
when they're capable of the kind of forgiveness that Christianity pretends it is.
Right. Exactly. When they can do that, fuck off. It doesn't matter. The judge is like, nope.
Yep, I got a hard on for murder.
And those things aside from that, color, they have to continue to color the way that the justice system feels about crime, right?
Yeah.
Like judges and juries, etc. Because and prosecutors, because the interest, like, while they will bring up the impacts of a crime during a trial, right? It's otherwise fairly dispassionate. It's very by the book. You object to things that are too leading, too much testimony from the prosecutor, etc. Right? Too prejudicial. Okay, so all of that is usually excluded. So yes, you can talk about the horrificness of a crime, but you can't really go into, like, basically making it a big emotional appeal, right?
Right.
Except at that one that one part, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's a big emotional appeal. So judges sit there listening to all the horrid parts about a crime, and then at the end, they get to hear from the crying children.
Yeah. Now I am of the mind that if you have not committed a violent crime, incarceration should be off the table.
Generally speaking,
It should be restitution based, whatever form that may take, depending on the nature of the crime.
Like, I'm a believer in house arrest.
But yeah, if you have not committed a violent act against another human being,
right,
I don't see the utility in locking you in prison.
Fair. I mean, you know, I get a little torn on that when it comes to wealth and power. Does that make sense?
I mean, most they enact a lot of violence.
They enact a lot of violence, but like, you know, a financial crime that like wipes out the life savings of like, you know, say 5,000 people, right? But you know, like Bernie Madoff or something, right? You know, that guy already is going to go to a nice cushy prison, right?
Yeah.
But you know, him just being made to pay restitution, I don't know, man. Especially if he was able to hide a bunch of money, right?
Well, I mean, I would also think you would have to seize all assets.
Sure.
Like
there we go. Now we're talking
beyond simple restitution. It's like, no, you are starting at zero.
Yeah.
And you are not allowed anywhere near this industry anymore.
Right.
Like, you are banned for life.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna leave you.
You're not even allowed to buy a fucking Bitcoin on your phone.
Right. We're gonna leave you with enough to get by for the rest of your days. If you're a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, right? Like, okay, we're gonna leave you.
You get your Social Security. And you get to live on that.
Man, I like the way you're thinking now.
Enjoy your $900 a month.
I mean, the thing is, there are more of us than there are of them, and we should bring back the phrase liquidation.
I do believe in the summary execution of all billionaires.
Fair.
Like, their existence is a crime against humanity. They should not be allowed. And I think we have reached the point where they just taxing them out of existence, which I was okay with, is not enough.
Yeah, they're hell bent on bringing down the entire system now with this AI bullshit.
I did see a really fun idea where some guy on TikTok today was talking about how we should just make it look like society has collapsed to the billionaire class, so they all go in their bunkers, and then we just concrete them in. They are self-sustaining. They can live in these bunkers for decades. They won't die. They'll just be cut off from humanity forever.
There's a like a Spanish soap opera show called Billionaire Bunker that Lano was watching like religiously for a few days there. But yeah, so apparently, yeah, that's kind of like they trick some billionaires into hiding in like a bunker that they've built as like a community, right? And they like, as an experiment, they tricked them in there. Now they're in there, and the world is watching what's going on in there.
Just concrete it over.
It's beautiful.
Put cameras in so we can watch, but like concrete it over. Don't let them know they're being filmed. Don't allow them internet access or phone access.
No.
They are cut off. They are buried underground. They have all the food they need. They have all of their whatever personal luxuries they might have given themselves. But you know what? When you can't leave, that shit gets real old real fast.
We should build them like a $40 billion underground city for the ultra wealthy. And trick them all into that, yeah. And then put them all in, right? Like the 5,000 richest people on the planet.
What if we just send them to space?
Well,
just we don't tell them that it's the low Earth orbit it's in is decaying, and in about 15 years, re-entry is imminent at 17,000 miles an hour.
Fair, but we could watch them in their underground. We could watch them in their underground city, right? And where we've concreted them in, because we know damn well that it would turn into the Lord of the Flies down there real fucking fast, even if they had a bunch of luxuries. And like, if you gave them, 10 times your DVD and book collection, right? And
like literally, any individual would have like 10 lifetimes worth of entertainment if all they did from the moment they woke up to the moment they went to sleep was like read and watch movies and listen to music.
Yeah, you can give them
more than they could consume in the remainder of 10,000 lifetimes.
Yep. You could fill the place with that stuff.
Within 6 months.
It would turn into the Lord of the Flies down there. And it has nothing to do with human nature and everything to do with their nature.
Right.
Like
they're not human.
Yeah. The funny thing about the Lord of the Flies, because everybody talks about it, is like, yeah, that's what happens to people. It's like, no, that's what happened to overprivileged white, overprivileged white kids who were part of a strict hierarchical, like, we're better than everybody else fucking private school, right? Yeah. Boarding school boys, they turn into fucking assholes.
You took 30 Latin American kids from, like, I don't know, any random Latin American country and just dump them on an island together, they'd be fine.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of violence and
but like, they would learn to, like, survive together.
Yeah.
And they would help each other.
Yep.
And that's true of everybody except for privileged white people.
Right? Like, people with privilege and power turn into assholes.
Yeah.
That's
especially if they're white.
Especially if they're white. But it happens, I mean,
it happens to everybody. But, like, but it is interesting when you see, like, ultra wealthy non-white people butting up against the fact that they're not white at a certain point.
Right.
Like, it always happens.
Yeah.
They're never on parity with their other billionaire buddies.
At the same time, you get, like, crazy shit like, like cartel guys for a while there were getting into really weird, like, torture and murder people stuff. Not just, I'm not talking about, like, the on the ground, like, torture and murder guys, but, like, the bosses of some of these cartels. And it was because they were just bored with all their money.
It's like Saddam Hussein's kids.
Yeah.
Uday and the other one. What was the other one's name?
Qusay?
Yeah. But, like, Uday was the one who was like, oh, this random girl I kidnapped didn't want to fuck me. Feed her to the Dobermans.
He was driving around Baghdad.
Monstrous human being. I'm glad he's dead.
He was driving around Baghdad looking for weddings where a pretty girl was getting married so he could rape the bride. That's wealth. And that is not he was from a Muslim country thing. No.
His
dad was an atheist, for fuck's sake.
He was rich and privileged.
Yeah.
And was allowed to do whatever he wanted. And I'm convinced that, like, all of the weird shit you see, like all the Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
Part of that is because some of them were genuinely, like, attracted to children.
Right.
But for a huge number of them, I guarantee it was just, I am getting away with something I'm not supposed to be able to get away with.
Right. The bulk of, like, again, there are segments of the Epstein victims that were obviously way too young and problematic. Like, but there were others that when you look at them and you see them in the photos, like, he had women that were, 18, 19, 20 hanging out at these parties too. But there were some of them that were, 16, 17 that looked 18, 20.
Let's not forget, you can be over 18 years old and still sex trafficked.
Yes.
Like, it's still fucked up.
Especially.
But yeah, like.
Especially if they've taken your passport or things like that.
Like, he obviously had an affinity for very underage women. But, like, I guarantee you that a lot of the people that he procured for didn't have a particular preference in that regard. It was, I am getting away with something normal people can't.
Right.
I have the privilege to get away with this, therefore I will do it. That's why, like, I don't have any problem with believing the idea that Donald Trump either sucked Bill Clinton's or a horse's cock. Like, just because it's like, normal people couldn't do this. I am privileged enough to do this. And it's not even like a sexual orientation thing.
Right.
At a certain point, this is taboo. I am allowed to transgress because I am wealthy.
Yeah.
They get off on the fact that they're allowed to transgress.
They eyes wide shutted themselves into, which is a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
Eyes Wide Shut.
It's on Tubi right now. I haven't watched it start to finish in years. So knowing it's on Tubi for free, the best streaming service ever created. Not even close. Not even close. Tubi is the best streaming service, and part of it's because it's free. But other part of it's like, it's the closest I've ever felt to going to a video store on a streaming service.
It does, and it's got all that trash that you would pick up at the video store that you would never like stuff that you don't go searching out these days.
Yeah, all the direct-to-video shit where you're like literally one video store had a copy.
Yeah.
And then no other video store in the surrounding 40 miles had one either, because it was just this weird random thing that the guy who was flipping through the fucking purchasing book was like, fuck it.
Right? Like,
Or it came as part of a package deal with like, oh, you want to buy this 3 copies of this good mainstream movie, you're getting this shit too.
right. That's Tubi, baby.
That's Tubi. That's fucking wonderful. I watched a Christmas movie where a baby, an infant, was killed with a circular saw in the first 5 minutes yesterday.
Last year, you showed us a film where a penis monster ran around killing people. It was a penis.
I don't remember that.
I remember it. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I remember.
Do not remember the penis monster.
I remember, and it wasn't like a penis monster. It was a dick, like a disembodied dick.
It reminds me.
Going around killing people.
Did you ever see the Killer Condom?
No.
All right, Killer Condom. It's German. I'll preface this. It's German, but it takes place in New York. But it's so German, I didn't realize it was supposed to take place in New York until like I read about the movie after I watched it. Like, oh shit, this was supposed to take place in New York. Because they keep talking about things in centimeters. Like it's very German.
Very German.
But
yes.
it was about this guy who had been he was I forget the specifics of why he was angry, but he was angry at like the gay and sex work community. So he crossbred lampreys with like these other flatworms, so they were like they looked like condoms and they crawled around, but they would bite your dick off and run away with it. So it was about this detective. The detective was searching, but he was searching for whoever did this because he had a 30-centimeter penis. About 10 centimeters of which was stolen by the Killer Condoms.
Okay.
And he was on a quest for revenge because now he had only an average size penis. And he was very upset about this. It came out in like 88, 89. It's probably on Tubi.
How long is 30 centimeters?
About 12 inches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, about 12 inches.
Damn.
Yeah.
So.
Because you figure like a ruler, if you think about a ruler, like.
Right.
It would always, standard foot ruler always went to 30 centimeters.
So it's 20 centimeters.
Yeah, what is 20 centimeters?
I want to know. I want to know.
Probably about 8 centimeters, about 10 centimeters, about 4 inches.
Yeah, 7.8.
Yeah.
So he still had kind of a big dick.
Right. I mean, no tip.
Like, no tip. That's the worst part. Like, he actually lost the useful function.
He still has tons of sex with people in this after.
What?
Yeah. He's just, it's German.
It's the Germans. Speaking of which, apparently Russell Crowe's apparently really good in the movie about Nuremberg.
Okay,
that's what I hear. So I can't wait for it to get to streaming because I don't want to go to theaters.
Anything about that?
Like,
speaking of shit coming to theaters, tomorrow, Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair drops in theaters. 4 hours, 35 minutes long.
It's got extra scenes too from
extra scenes. It's got an extended animated sequence that shows Gogo Yubari's sister coming to the States to get revenge on the bride for killing Gogo.
Okay.
And that's why she loses the pussy wagon. When she has the pussy wagon, and then that's where the pussy wagon gets destroyed. It's like there's like a chase like through the fucking Bat Tunnel in Austin.
Gotcha.
It's like it's through the streets of Austin. You know how it goes to black and white in the house of the Crazy 818? Doesn't go to black and white. It stays full color the entire time.
Oh.
So all that's just
gory.
Super gory. Like
there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood in that.
4 hours and 35 minutes. It's playing in theaters.
Wow.
It's at the Sundial and Regal People's Plaza.
The Whole Bloody Affair is coming.
I'm very seriously going to the 7 p.m. showing on Monday night and then not getting out till fucking midnight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. That is your night.
I have no idea if there's an intermission or not. Wow. Yeah.
I would probably want an intermission in that.
At least I know when, like, if I have to piss.
Right.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
I could take a 5-minute break right now.
Yeah. Except for the extended editions, where, like, there's nothing that.
Also, like, I know those two movies so well, I will know every single solitary frame that has been added to that movie and when it's coming.
You are a nerd, sir.
Oh, and I believe that the animated sequence that gives you the backstory of Oren Ishii is longer too.
Oh, nice.
Not by much, like a minute or two, but like apparently it's longer and more fucked up.
Excellent.
Which I remember
It already being pretty fucked up.
That segment was animated for a reason.
Yeah, there were just some things that.
Some things even Tarantino's like, I can't show that on screen, man.
The movie that ended he and Uma Thurman's friendship.
You know, when her daughter was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Maya Hawke of Stranger Things.
Okay.
She went to her mom. She said, "Hey, I'm going to be in this movie. What advice can you give me working with Tarantino?" And Uma Thurman's advice was, "Make sure you keep your shoes on." That's all she said. Make sure you keep your shoes on. You know what this makes me realize? You know what this makes me realize? And this just occurs to me right now.
I need a moment for this one.
She's not wrong.
She's not. That's why that is. Oh my God, that is so funny.
Make sure you keep.
Oh, thank you, Uma Thurman.
This does remind me. This makes me realize that Quentin Tarantino is the Glenn Danzig of filmmaking.
Okay.
I love Glenn Danzig music. I love the Misfits. I love his solo stuff. I love Sam Hain. I also love mercilessly making fun of Glenn Danzig for being Glenn Danzig.
Oh yeah, no.
And that is Quentin Tarantino. I love every one of his movies.
Yeah.
I think he's a brilliant filmmaker. I will never stop mocking him until the day one of us dies.
Yeah. I mean,
because he's a fucking ridiculous human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, my God, watching the video of him, like when he gets in a room full of black people and he just forgets he's white.
Hey, my brother.
Yeah.
God, stop it. God damn it, Quentin Tarantino, stop it.
He might be the cringiest man in Hollywood.
He's
made 9 brilliant films. He will never make his 10th because he's given himself this arbitrary fucking 10-film limit. So he's never going to make it. He will never be able to fucking settle on what his 10th final film's going to be. So we're never getting it.
Which is stupid and amazing because, like, Scorsese, like, if he wants to put out a movie, he puts out a movie, right? That was how he worked. Like,
he's still putting out good movies.
Right? Like, yeah. And it's like
he's like 1,000 years old,
right? Like, you know, some of the greats, and like, you know, later in their career, as they like decide, you know what, I'm only going to do one every few years. They give us something amazing.
Kubrick made great movies until the day he died. Kurosawa made great movies until the day he died. Bergman, despite being a fascist, made great movies until the day he fucking died.
Kubrick.
Just because like fucking Sam Peckinpah and fucking Sam Fuller like got old and started making lame shit after a certain point doesn't mean it's the norm. It means they got old and started making lame shit.
Hell, Spielberg picked up and finished Kubrick's last movie.
Yeah.
AI. Like,
yeah.
Which, you know.
I mean, Kubrick always intended for Spielberg to direct it.
Okay.
Like, which I get in arguments with people that the whole thing was he saw it as like he was going to write the script, he was going to produce the film, he thought Spielberg was better to direct the material than he was.
Gotcha.
So that was the plan all along.
But didn't Kubrick start directing it or something? I thought there was a story behind that where there was some.
He had started doing pre-production.
Okay.
But it was like collaborative pre-production.
Gotcha.
They were working on it together.
All right. But yeah, I mean, Kubrick was great up until he died, and except being a fucking lunatic.
Died right before days after he handled in the final cut of Eyes Wide Shut. He died.
Yeah.
And he was young. He was young. I mean, he was 70.
Right.
But he just dropped out of a heart attack out of nowhere.
For a rich guy, that was relatively young, you know.
Apparently, his daughter is really active on the Kubrick subreddit.
Oh boy!
And she loves arguing with people and telling them they're wrong when they come up with weird paranoid conspiracy theories about his movies. She's like, "Yeah, no, that's wrong and stupid." I was there. You're an idiot. And it makes me happy.
And she's like, you know, no, he was not nice to people, but that does not mean that it's conspiracy theory. Yeah. Oh man! So what do we got in the news? Because we had a lot of dumb news. Not a lot going on, but a lot going on. The Venezuela murder thing. We should talk about that.
I think that's the most important thing.
We've been talking about it all season, but it's gotten
bad
all last season. But it's
escalated.
Escalated.
Hegseth might go to prison.
it also has finally crossed a line from being, hey, we're doing this thing, and they're being cagey about it, but we know we're doing it, right?
To like they are openly committing war crimes and bragging about it.
Right. And trying to deflect a little bit.
But not really.
Right. They're just basically saying, well, when we order something, it's legal. And these people are murderers, so therefore we're going to kill them.
Like simultaneously throwing an admiral under the bus, but also being like, but everything he did was fine.
Speaking of which, he has now said there is no order to kill them all, despite the admiral came out and said that there was no order to kill them all, despite,
Then why were they double tapped?
Right. There was a double tap drone strike. We ordered a double tap drone strike.
Somebody committed a war crime. Either SEAL Team 6 took it upon themselves to commit a war crime, which, not outside the realm of possibility.
Right.
They are liars who lie about their kills.
But he did admit the order was basically destroy the drugs, kill the 11 people on the boat. That said, Representative Adam Smith, it was said to him, and why they double tapped 2 shirtless survivors who were clinging to the sides of a boat. He has no real response for.
Well, I mean, according to some dipshit on Fox News, what if they had taken out their cell phones and called the drug traffickers to come save them?
Yeah. It
has been fascinating in the worst way possible to watch certain segments of the media just bend over backwards to excuse this behavior.
Like
fucking Megyn Kelly, like fetish, like getting like almost sexually excited about the idea of like we should blow off their legs so they bleed out. It's fucking gross.
It's deranged, and it highlights a problem. I'm going to say it. Dick Cheney and Barack Obama are largely responsible for how we got here, right?
Yeah.
So Dick Cheney had a covert assassination plan or project going on where, yes, we were targeting individuals and just focusing on, okay, if these guys are leaders of a terrorist group, we're going to try to kill them rather than take them in, right?
Yeah.
And Obama made it an official policy.
Yeah.
He made the kill list.
When it should be, we're going to try to take them in, but if we happen to kill them in the process.
Right. And now again, like, yeah, there is, sometimes you target a high-value target and location with a missile. Sure, that happens.
Yeah.
Right? That is a thing that has happened in war since fucking we could make missiles.
Yeah.
Right?
Since we had explosives.
But that's rarely, that should not be your primary goal, and you shouldn't have that as a policy of course, where you have a list of people that when you find them, you're going to hunt them down and kill them,
yeah,
right?
Kill lists are bad because you end up in a situation where you go from like, we have a kill list for individual people to we have a kill list for classes of people.
Which we now have. And the ability...
Venezuelan fishermen, apparently.
And the ability to add the words terrorist to anything. Narco-terrorist, right?
When narco-terrorists historically have been people who used drug trafficking to finance their terrorism.
Right.
Not just guys who sell drugs.
Yeah, there is a huge difference. And by the way, most narco-terrorists, well, they just so happen to be organizations funded and helped by the United States.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
A lot of right-wing paramilitary groups, especially in Latin America.
That isn't a cartel thing. Cartels are businesses. Cartels are corporations.
If the cartels could do their business without killing anyone, they would do that because it'd be easier and cheaper.
Absolutely.
Like, it would take less heat off. It would take more heat off of them.
Yeah.
It'd be like, it'd be easier for them to get away with shit if they did not have to, like, do that. But they do that because they feel they have to.
Right. Are there guys inside cartels that like killing? Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But...
And guys in police departments who like killing.
Exactly.
Guys in the military who just love killing.
There is... A cartel is a company. It's a business.
Yeah.
It wants to make money and get powerful. That's what it wants.
It's a business engaging in illegal business, like illegal products, but it's still a business enterprise.
Yeah, and the demand side is, well, here, the United States. The United States has the highest global demand for all drugs anywhere.
You know, I hear they have fantastic factories in Colombia that make cocaine, and we're very thankful for that. Did you see that one?
No.
That is an actual quote from Donald John Trump.
That they have factories.
They have factories that make cocaine. They have factories that make cocaine there, and we're very thankful for that.
Jesus Christ.
He had no idea what he was saying.
No.
He's not the president.
No.
Not
no.
for real. He's the lunatic who sends out 160 Truth Social posts in an hour at 2 a.m.
He's a mad king.
Yeah.
We've landed at mad king status.
Yeah.
Which also...
which is funny because, if you read the Declaration of Independence, it's almost 1-to-1 at this point.
More, actually. He got the whole list.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah. He got the whole list.
Basically 1-to-1.
And went further.
If you just if you just go online and without context, post the list of grievances in the Declaration of Independence with no context, you will have MAGA dipshits screaming at you that you're a libtard.
Yeah.
You're a cuck libtard, leftist, gay.
Trying to destroy America. Those are un-American. That's the Declaration of Independence, you fucks. So we are pardoning the former president of Honduras.
Oh, we have already.
We've pardoned the former president.
Full and unconditional.
He was running a drug smuggling operation into the United States.
Was it $400 million worth of cocaine?
Yeah, and his brother was also he and his brother were smuggling drugs into the United States, and he had turned the government into a drug smuggling apparatus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like having it turn a blind eye, etc. We arrested him and convicted him, and 30 years?
Yeah, I think it was 30 or 35 years.
Yeah. He got a 35-year sentence, and we have now given him a pardon.
Full and unconditional.
And then when asked about it by the press, Donald Trump said he didn't know who he was.
Because he probably didn't. After
making a ridiculous truth post about it a couple days ago. That is the status of where we're at. This man doesn't know what he did yesterday.
No, he's sundowning at 1 p.m. That's a problem. And if you go back and you read stories about his father's final year.
Yeah.
His father died of Alzheimer's. They set up a fake office for him to sit in all day so he could fill out fake paperwork so he could think he was working.
Nope.
And now he's president. That's the president.
Yeah, and
30 or 40 million of you people are fucking excited about it.
And the frequency of his MRIs and cognitive tests. Now, they check the president's cognitive ability every year, particularly older ones, right?
Which are all we have.
Right.
Although here's a fun little fact. Bill Clinton today is younger than either Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
Correct.
And he hasn't been president for 25 years.
Yeah. He left the office 25 years ago.
Yeah, we're a month away from it being exactly 25 years.
Yeah. So Donald Trump is getting repeated. He's been in office for less than a year.
Yes.
He's been in office for 10 months now.
He has had, 3 annual checkups?
3. More than that. He's had at least 3 cognitive tests.
Yes. He's had at least 2 MRIs.
At least 2 MRIs. I believe we're at 4 now.
Yeah. It's hard to know for sure.
Right. It's hard to know, but reporters follow the fucker around all day. So, shit leaks. He is having more. They're testing his cognitive ability and his brain more than they have with anybody else, including possibly Joe Biden.
I'm sure.
This looks like they're testing his cognitive ability more than Joe Biden's. That's a problem. And now I don't think they're being honest with us about his health at all.
Biden, it seemed not less like he couldn't cognitively function as he would just become exhausted.
Yeah, so
it seemed like he would hit a point where it was he couldn't physically stay awake and maintain focus, but he could think.
There are 2 types of cognitive decline that happen in life, right?
Yeah.
There's just age.
Yeah.
And then there are going down the the Alzheimer's dementia
Yeah.
route, right? They're exclusive to each other. They aren't identical.
And, we should avoid both in our presidents. We could help mitigate that by stopping to elect people in their fucking 70s and 80s all the goddamn time.
That would be great. But like as we've talked about a long time, I think, on the show, when my grandmother's old landlord was 104, right? Man was old as fuck.
Yeah.
Smart. He still did his own taxes every year, did all of his own accounting, and he owned several businesses and properties, right?
I remember meeting my great-grandfather.
But he was slow.
Yeah.
Right? And he stammered to get words out.
And I'm sure he got tired fast.
Yes. And you'd be having a conversation with him, and he would be telling you a story, and there would be periods where you'd have to pause for like 10, 20 seconds, right? Like, to get it out. But the man could remember tell you everything about the day he first drove a fucking Model T.
I remember meeting both my mom's grandmother and my father's grandfather, who were 103 and 104 at the time, respectively.
Right.
They were both sharp as a tack, but they spoke slow, and you could tell that they really didn't want to talk so much as go maybe take a fucking nap.
Right. And they could stammer and forget things.
They could think, and they could hold on a conversation, and they were aware, and they were present. They were just old.
Right.
Because they were over 100.
And Joe Biden is showing signs of that kind of cognitive decline. Like, he is not well, but he's not crazy.
He's normal 81-year-old old.
Right.
He's normal 81-year-old old. And we know that the presidency is a stressful job that ages you more quickly. So he's probably closer to like a normal 90-year-old.
The only reason I think Trump hasn't declined even faster is because he doesn't take the job seriously. He doesn't actually have the stress of the job like a normal person.
And they're probably giving him a lot of stimulants.
Yeah. But
That's why he shits himself so much.
Remember, he used to fucking... His work day was 3 hours a week, and he went golfing every weekend.
Yeah, now
he's not doing anything.
His official work day starts around 12:30 p.m. every day and ends around 4:30 or 5. That's what they tell us.
Right. Like this.
By the way, it's weird that I know the president shits himself.
Yeah. And
I want to make this perfectly clear. Nothing right now, like, if you are under the age of 25, you might think to yourself that this is what politics in the United States are like.
Right, like
this is new.
If this is your
started with Donald Trump, this is new. This is not normal.
These people were always around and crazy and kooky. They were the fringes of things, and now, like, look,
they were mostly kept out of the halls of power.
Yeah.
You would occasionally get one in a governor's mansion,
and
or a state house.
And some folks, you can forgive people in like their like up to like early to mid 30s who all they experienced were the Tea Party years and go like, well, I mean, politics has always been crazy. Yeah. Like,
no,
but no, because the government was always kept together by serious people who weren't the crazies. Right?
I grew up as a child hating Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't this.
No.
They were.
And that man also probably was suffering from Alzheimer's in his second term.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what they did? They just let him speak when he could speak and ran the government effectively around him. Yeah. And they didn't coddle to his sense of like grandeur so that his...
And that's the big difference. Donald Trump is surrounded by incompetent psychopathic morons.
And sycophants.
Yeah.
Like, they're incompetent, they're psychopathic, they're morons, they're sycophants. It's a cult of personality around this lunatic.
They actively dislike the idea of governing.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Like, Kash Patel is out here admitting that he just uses... He keeps leaning on that, I'm prohibited from using commercial air flight by law, right? It's like, you're right, but you're not supposed to use the private plane to fly around to your girlfriend's parties.
Right. You're not supposed to give her, like, security details because she's your girlfriend.
Yeah, that didn't happen with...
You're also not supposed to magic her up a fucking country music career. because you're the director of the fucking FBI. You're also not supposed to, like, throw a goddamn tantrum because they don't have a fucking jacket in your fucking size before you do a press conference after an assassination of a public figure. And then, like, throw another tantrum because the only jacket they could find that fits you was a fucking woman's medium, and you wanted a men's jacket even though they're fucking the same. And it didn't have the right patches on it, so you had to wait for your patches to get sewn on.
This is
not normal.
not normal. Kash Patel is not normal.
You know who I know?
And I don't mean that because his name's Patel. I mean that because he's a fucking weird lunatic who has a podcast and has jewelry that says cash on it with the S's as fucking dollar signs.
You know
the
who
fuck are we doing?
You know who I know knows this is not normal because he goes out of his way to, like, never be seen anymore?
JD Vance?
Dan Bongino.
Fair enough.
Dan Bongino. First of all, he knows he is unqualified for the job.
Right.
I don't think he likes that he's unqualified for the job. I think he is probably uncomfortable with the job.
He is hiding. Yeah, I haven't seen him.
He is hiding. It's like he doesn't exist. He is supposed to be in charge of the day-to-day operations of the FBI.
Yeah. JD Vance is weird because he has, in a lot of ways, dropped his public profile in some ways, right? But he always shows up at all the important meetings, I've noticed, right?
Yes.
And I think that's because he's the only one who can steer a conversation away from...
I mean, he's gotta spend his time banging Erica Kirk like she's a three-piece sectional.
We call Erica Kirk his love seat over here at the Grift.
He calls her labia sweet cushions. They're made of naugahyde. Fine Corinthian leather.
I'm a bend
Like
you
an
like a
Oldsmobile.
Davenport.
Ricardo Montalban just describing his sex life. Rich Corinthian leather.
And now I've just got Amaché's Lounge stuck in my head.
It all comes back around.
It all comes back
full
around.
circle.
Like, these people, all of this is fucking stupid, but it's not just stupid, it's evil. We are now seeing, because I knew it was going to happen, right? You know, first they go after the illegal aliens, right? And then
Yes.
then they step onto, well, they can't really find them. That's work.
Right.
Right. That's work. So what we're going to do is we're going to do really crazy disruptive things like rounding up people at Home Depots, whether or not they're illegal, right? And we're going to go fucking rounding up people at farms, whether or not they're illegal, right? And then we're going to wind up going to any place where we know there are legal immigrants. And if we do a big sweep there, what's going to happen is that some of them are going to have like a past misdemeanor for something stupid.
They'll got like a traffic ticket
or something.
A littering citation.
And we'll be able to use that as a pretext to deport them because our deportation system is so fucking broken and flawed that it gives them that discretion, right? And we are going to fuck up all of these people, but that's not going to be enough. So then after moving on from white people, we're going to move, or from brown people, we're going to move on to white people too, which is what they're doing in a few cases, right? And you get these... Key Largo.
They dragged a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman out of her fucking car.
She was a citizen.
She was a citizen.
She was a citizen. We've detained citizens. We have deported some citizens.
Because they're so hyper-focused on the Somali population in Dearborn now, they're just harassing just random black people.
Random black people. Yep.
You might be a Somali immigrant. Random black person in, I don't know, fucking Baltimore.
You're black and thin. You must be a Somali. That's
because there are no thin black dudes running around in America.
Like,
I've not thin black dude. What are you talking about?
Right.
Never seen that.
Like, oh, you're tall. You must be Somali. Like, they have a interesting because they're like very culturally very like on average tall and thin. I don't know why. Like I lived in Minneapolis for a long time. I did not run into a lot of short, round Somalis. Like,
I mean, certain populations just have a bigger average height and lower body fat. That
was one of the weirder distinctions. Like,
it must be like have a survival benefit in Somalia.
Yeah,
over the last 50,000 years.
More than likely, yeah. The Ethiopians are a lot like them too.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, but yeah,
and
they're just rounding up tall,
and we both
tall,
know,
thin black guys.
And we both know Ethiopians have some of the best food on earth.
They do. Oh my God, Ethiopian food is amazing.
If you've never had Ethiopian food, please fix that.
Yes.
It's it might be my favorite global cuisine.
It is.
I don't have it often, but
it is so up there for me. We need to go. We gotta do that again. We gotta do that again.
We need. I wish they would open one on this side of the goddamn bridge. Going all the way to North Tampa is a fucking hassle.
It is, but
It's worth it, but a goddamn hassle.
The kitfo. Oh, the kitfo. Oh,
Like even cold later, which is like, it's a fucking fraction of a percent of as good as it is fresh. It's still amazing.
You're right. Like, fresh. Kitfo is it's like a tartare dish. It's it's served warm, so it's not hot. It's served warm, and it's a
super finely ground raw beef.
ground, like, and it's basically just a step below rare, right? So it's cooked a little to like almost rare.
It's like if you get a steak and you get blue rare, where it's like it's near a fire for a little bit.
Right, but
it is mixed with possibly the single greatest spice mix on the face of the planet.
It is like just
it's the best thing I've tasted. Expect to ever taste.
Right, it is that good.
And Queen of Sheba is a great restaurant. It's not even close to the best Ethiopian I've had.
No, like
it's the only option here, but it's like. The first time I had Ethiopian in Chicago, that is in my top 5 meals of all time.
Went to an Ethiopian place last time in Chicago. It was fucking great.
Oh, and they had the honey wine on available at the time. Because Queen of Sheba doesn't always have the honey wine.
Yep. So
and
Ethiopian food. Also, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, Ethiopian is really easy.
Except for the kiffa.
Yeah, like almost. They have they have dishes with goat and with chicken and with egg, but you also have just stewed vegetables with some of the best seasoning you'll ever have. And they have lentils, right? And
what
peas.
They have managed to do with potatoes as a people who did not have access to potatoes until they came here.
Right. I don't even like boiled potatoes typically, but they did something to make boiled potatoes fucking good.
It's because they have the single greatest spice mix for everything.
Right, like
face the planet.
The seasoning is so good,
and it's just.
And they stew it, so it's all like this kind of nice, soft texture. You get this injera. It's a bread that's spongy,
unleavened, spongy bread, and you just scoop it with your hand, and it's.
Do this, but we need to go again. That's
It's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been over a year.
Yeah, and I haven't been since not long before I broke up with the one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember you brought me leftovers.
Yes.
That's the last time I had it.
So the New York Times is suing the Pentagon over its First Amendment rights. About goddamn time. Like,
you could have just never acquiesced, and you would have had easier.
Yeah, why?
Because that's the thing. You have created a situation where you have set the precedent that you will cave.
Yeah. Now the New York Times is actually suing the Pentagon this time, but allowing the government and the President of the United States to sue news organizations over coverage it doesn't like and then settling is a horrendous precedent. And we know that they're buying non-interference because they're mergers, right?
Yeah.
And these new AI rules, because like Meta got sued, they settled, and now the tech regulation that was coming down the pipe is not, right?
Right.
That's what's happening. And we're not doing anything to stop it. Meanwhile, they're trying to fucking deport Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, when you've got like official government Twitter accounts being like, why'd you marry your brother?
Yeah, that didn't happen.
What?
That's not what happened at all. There have been a bunch of really racist and dumb conspiracies about her marriages, and like, stop it. Kristi Noem saying that 50% of the visas in the Somali community in Minnesota were fraudulent.
Stop it.
Like, they were brought over here as refugees. Many of them living in refugee camps Ilhan Omar spent like 2 years in a Kenyan refugee camp.
She's been here since what, the 90s?
95, 96.
Yeah, I think 96.
She's been a citizen since 2000, so 25 years. And she is now in her third term in Congress.
But hey, you got DHS talking about remigration as if it's not a Nazi dog whistle. So
yeah, that remigration.
Actually, it's not even a dog whistle. It's just Nazi policy.
Yeah, it's get rid of foreigners who immigrated here legally. Get rid of them.
Just because they're foreigners.
Because they're foreigners. Like,
you got that fucking, I forget which dipshit it is who's trying to like end dual citizenship, make dual citizenship illegal.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you want to kick Barron and Melania and Elon and Peter Thiel and a few other people out of the fucking country, my God.
Yeah, how is that going to work? Like,
it's one of those things that's just like, the only thing you could do is say that you can't have dual citizenship going forward.
Right. You
couldn't force people to choose.
And why we would want that in the first place is beyond me. Like, again, as a principle,
let's ask, what does the state of Israel think about this?
Yeah, no shit. But I mean, I know that's why some of them, like Nick Fuentes, like, is on a anti-dual citizenship kick, but we know exactly why.
Right.
Israel, right?
Yeah. And just for the record, since I know some of you younger, dumber people on the left need to be told this specifically, he does not care about the Palestinian people. He just hates Jews. That is the only reason he is opposed to anything Israel does. Because he conflates the two. Because he would happily see all Muslims wiped out immediately after all Jews were wiped out. Because he is a little Nazi man.
Little Nazi boy. Now, we need to start asking ourselves and challenging our fellow citizens on their dumb bullshit ideas when they get behind this stuff. Because the idea that, like, where did your love of freedom go? That's what I want to know.
It's become apparent a lot of them never had it.
Yeah, but
like they like it in theory for themselves.
Yeah, like but they're
still willing to give it all up.
Right. They're so willing to give it all up. So willing to just like a court finds that a license plate being partially covered by a license plate cover is not a good pretext for a stop. So states around the country, including Florida, decide it's illegal to have license plate covers. Like,
now, they don't tell the public this for real.
No, yeah. No, they're claiming we're going to have an education campaign, but we're going to start enforcing the same day that they start the education campaign. That's not...
Which was October 1st.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing any education about this.
I learned about it today, November...
I learned about it yesterday.
and it's a mandatory appearance charge. Yeah. It's a second... it's a class 2 misdemeanor. It's a mandatory appearance. The fine is big. Like,
it's $500 fine and up to 60 days in jail.
Yeah, that's
60 days in jail for having a fucking
license plate
the fucking dealership fucking frame around you. That's 60 days.
Or those cars that get a wrap that goes all the way around the car and you can still see the license plate clearly through it, but there's...
I've never actually seen one of those. That's fascinating.
I have. I've seen it a bunch of times.
I've never seen that. I've seen plenty of full car wraps, but I've never seen the license plate.
They're usually really nice and expensive cars like Mercedes, right? Like you get a black Mercedes and then you do a wrap that reduces like the damage to the, right? And there's a clear coat over the thing, but it's like slightly tinted, right? It's got a slight dark tint. I've seen that a bunch of times. It's, you know...
Don't be surprised if they're like, it's illegal to have a dirty license plate. Like, you have to clean your license plate.
Yeah.
And then they'll have... And it'll be up to the officer's discretion what counts as dirty or not.
I mean...
That's probably where we're going next.
I mean, heck, it says any coverings, right?
Yeah.
Like
dirt's a covering.
And they do a bunch of the et ceteras. They said this is this, and then et cetera as examples. So it's like anything that covers up your license plate. And The other reason for this is because cops like to use partially covered license plates as a pretext for a stop. And reason number 2 is because anything that could block it might give all these automated toll readers, right, a problem. You know, we really have to have them reading all our license plates.
You know, it's
but
important.
number 3 is those fucking cameras and scanners that they've got on squad cars. They are running around, driving through the streets as we speak, scanning every fucking license plate around them and waiting for something to pop, meaning, does the owner of that car have a suspended license, a misdemeanor? They're out there illegally searching for our information, unconstitutionally doing so. And I don't care what the Supreme Court has decided to say about how the Constitution doesn't fucking matter anymore. 50 years ago, all of this was illegal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we didn't have the technology back then, but just doing it with your eyes and going, hey, that's a car. I think that car is owned by somebody who might have had their license suspended last year, right? 50 years ago,
You couldn't do that shit.
You couldn't do that shit.
And
Like-
you were actually prevented from doing that shit, and you were punished if you did it.
Yeah, we punished the police for doing these things.
You can't just detain somebody without reading the Miranda rights and search all their private possessions and then get a search warrant 7 hours later and have it be admissible in court.
Speaking of which, you want to tell the class about that one?
I would say we're probably at 50-50 on whether or not any of the evidence allegedly found on Luigi Mangione the day of his arrest will be admissible in court, which is essentially the entire fucking case against him.
Right. So you have the circumstantial evidence of him being seen in the area, and
Which the area being New York City.
right, and somebody met. Looking like wearing his clothes through a few frames of some cameras from point A to point B, which you can kind of like.
He might have been in the vicinity.
He might have been in the vicinity, right?
That is not probable cause.
Yeah. And then a cop who is doing a really bad job of explaining how he figured out he was Luigi Mangione when he stopped him and searched him.
So here's the timeline. The Altoona police received a phone call from a McDonald's worker that alerted them to a suspicious person at McDonald's. A suspicious meaning, according to the chief of police, well, he was wearing a mask, and we have antibodies here, so we don't do that.
So the tip wasn't that guy, that the wanted suspect from New York was here.
Right. Because we didn't have a face. We had this.
So
We had eyebrows.
So the tip was that there was a suspicious person.
They'd been lingering at the McDonald's too long. And they were wearing a mask.
So a guy wearing a mask is lingering too long, and the cops walk up to him, and then what?
Well, they before they read him any of his Miranda rights, he was questioned.
Okay.
His bag was opened and searched because, according to one of the officers on the scene, she thought there might be a bomb in there. So she's not a bomb disposal expert, mind you. She went into a bag she was worried had a bomb
In it.
Started rooting around in what she thought was a bomb bag.
So they didn't know what. So they did not have him detained as a suspect in the shooting of the United. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not why he was detained.
Right.
And even when they encountered him, they had yet to put 2 and 2 together. And they detained him, but did not tell him he was detained.
Like I believe he was told he was being detained as the cuffs were being put on him, but at this point he had still not been read his Miranda rights.
Okay, so he's being detained, and they put the cuffs on him. They tell him why he was being detained?
I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
I can't remember that part. They did search through all his belongings, and 7 hours later, decided, hey, we should probably get a warrant.
Because they read his
Alleged manifesto.
Yeah, the notebook in there, and so they went through his stuff, pulled out a notebook, started reading it, and then realized what they
Thought they had.
What they thought they had.
Who they thought they might have.
Wow.
And he has a really good defense attorney. He has a good defense team. But,
He does, yeah.
they had filed a motion to suppress all the evidence, and they presented all of this information to the judge, and we have only time will tell
This is
what that
amazing.
judge is, because there's still not even a trial date.
Right. I mean, the funny thing is if this evidence isn't suppressed, it's a bad sign for the legal system, and it's another one of those reasons.
It's
Because
also
all of that should be wrong.
It's also like immediate grounds for an appeal if he's convicted.
Yeah. All of that should be flatly illegal for the police to do, right?
Oh, we do have a Fourth Amendment for a reason.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Theoretically.
And then they failed to read him his Miranda rights, which great. And then they're making things up in these hearings.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
They've came up with some story about how he allegedly confessed to someone he was detained in a cell with while he was being detained in Altoona, and that part of his confession involved him explaining in great length to this person about his trip to Vietnam that never happened.
Yeah.
Never been to Vietnam.
Never been. Wow. And then they did and then after all of that nonsense, they did the Eric Adams with the
Purple Hawk, which is illegal in New York.
right, like because it's majorly prejudicial.
And like, even if they had not fucked up at all, they had a very difficult task of seating a jury when the time comes.
Yeah.
Because you kind of necessarily have to find 12 people in New York who have never had a problem with health insurance.
Right. You gotta have 12 people in New York who don't hate health insurance companies, don't hate rich assholes,
Yeah.
right? And a jury with no women under 40 or gay men. Because
Or even honestly, a lot of like straight dudes who are flexible.
right, like not even bi-curious, not allowed on that jury because he's a good-looking
like,
man.
No, he's the sort of good-looking where like straight dudes will be like, I mean, if I had to, I wanted to be him. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's kind of cute. I mean, he's like.
We've all seen what he's packing beyond that 3D printed gun, apparently. And he's only gotten more ripped in prison.
Yeah, like this is. I want Luigi Mangione to walk. I do. I'm not even. I don't care if I don't care if he did it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the guy he killed if he killed him.
He was immediately replaced later that afternoon, so
Yeah.
it's not like the company gave a fuck.
Like, look, yeah, sure. The CEO had a family, he had a wife and kid. That's bad. Okay.
She probably had a side piece anyway.
Yeah.
They've probably already got a new dad.
The man was a CEO for a health insurance company. Not a one of them is human. If anybody killed him, I don't care. Like, if anybody kills another one, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm hard pressed to care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that we've reached the point where it seems fine. Like, that feels like a problem.
It is a problem.
That feels like a problem where it's like, meh. Like, I don't want to get to the point where it's like I am totally okay with just mehing murdering people in the streets. Based on certain, like, but meh.
Man, like, I mean, look here, like, as I was saying to you the other day, like, when it comes to like MAGA, right?
Mm-hmm.
To imply that I don't respect them, is to imply that I don't respect a malignant cancer murdering a child.
Yes.
Right? Like, I do not see them as people anymore. 70 million of them in the streets, meh.
I don't know.
Like-
I don't know if you ever read
They're not human.
Vince Neil of Motley Crue describing the brain tumor that killed his 4-year-old daughter.
No.
I think of MAGA the same way he thinks of the brain tumor that killed his 4-year-old daughter.
I'm gonna read this after
It's in the
this.
dirt.
Okay.
It's in the dirt. I don't know if you've never read The Dirt. It's a great book. Like, even if you don't give a fuck about Motley Crue, and I really only like the first 2 records and like half of Dr. Feelgood, great read. They were profound degenerates.
Beautiful.
The Netflix movie did not do the book justice.
I mean, they were. I know that Motley Crue were profound degenerates. The
Netflix movie.
The things we know about
Partially,
that
the
band.
Netflix movie couldn't do them as much justice as they needed to, is because some of the real life people who were like involved in their stories did not agree to have their likeness or names used.
Okay.
So they had to like combine a lot of people into like amalgam characters, and they left out some stuff like the time Bobby Brown sold all of Tommy Lee's belongings while he was out of the house. He came home, she was gone, everything was gone. Every piece of furniture, every item, everything was gone. He came home to an empty shell of a mansion with nothing in it.
That's amazing.
Because meth.
That's excellent. So, Mangione, I want him to walk. Billionaires are a plague upon our society.
We should eliminate them.
OpenAI and the other AI companies are creating a bubble that's going to end all bubbles, and when it bursts, it's going to bring down the entire economy because NVIDIA is basically
like a third of the U.S. economy.
It's nuts.
By the way, we are facing an imminent global RAM shortage because of AI.
Yeah.
So like literally every single electronic device on the planet requires RAM. 3 companies essentially produce all of the RAM on Earth.
Yeah.
OpenAI just signed a contract with 2 of them to secure 40% of all the RAM each of them produce.
Remember when there was this chip shortage just a couple of years ago because COVID plus fire?
Yeah.
Right? And it caused us serious concerns with the global supply chain, right? And the price of electronics skyrocketed temporarily, and you couldn't. And instead of jacking up the price because they knew it would come down, and they basically didn't want to be in a position where they like priced the iPhone at $3,000 for a while, right? They just were like, oh, you can't buy stuff for a minute. Right? Everything was out in cars. That it's one of the reasons that car manufacturers, because they got behind on their chip purchases.
It's one of the reasons why buying a used car costs you like $14,000 now.
Yeah, because that chip shortage, right, and COVID paired together meant that the auto industry just was fucked for a year.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
and
speaking of the auto industry, did you see that we have dropped cafe standards down 15 miles per gallon by executive order?
Fuck it.
15. He's like, this will save the average person $2,000 because it'll save the. You're going to be paying like an extra $7,000 a year in gas if you're getting 15 miles less per gallon. Yeah,
your costs are going to go up. Also, it's going to use more gas, so
demand will go up.
Demand will go up.
So the price of gas will go up. Like, so I hope you enjoy getting 8 miles a gallon when it's $5 a gallon.
None of these motherfuckers understand economics at all.
They also don't care because they're all going to be dead in 5 years. And
Right.
It's not their fucking problem. And they're rich enough. It's not their fucking problem anyway.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, has he ever driven a car?
I don't think so. I
He's
don't think
been
he's ever-
driven in cars, but has he ever gotten behind the wheel of a goddamn automobile and fucking driven it? I bet he doesn't even know how.
I don't think he has. Like, I mean, grew up in New York, rich.
I wouldn't be
like,
surprised if he has an ID and not a driver's license.
It's possible, yeah. Like, I can't imagine. I've never seen or heard of him driving.
No.
Like, not once. And, yeah, ever. And I've been vaguely aware of the man since, like, 1990. That's sad.
Longer than that, man.
Yeah, actually, no. But I mean, I was 10 then, right?
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's
like
true.
I've been vaguely aware of this man's existence since I was at least 10.
I remember seeing him on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Yes.
When I was a little kid, and being horrified then that anybody would live that way.
Okay, so yeah, it's been longer than 1990 because Lifetime of the Rich and Famous. So I watched it with my mom and grandmother when I was a little kid.
I wonder how many people
Jesus
that
Christ.
show radicalized accidentally. You're just like, who, why, how? Like the opulence and the excess and the waste.
Yeah, I was so simultaneously with that show and others like it and other things like it, like Cribs too.
Yeah.
I am so simultaneously like the excess and the waste is angering, and the fact that everyone on Earth should be living at like a smaller but nice piece of that.
Yeah.
We have the capacity to do both, right?
Yeah.
For them to not each have 100 to 1,000 times more than they will ever fucking need, right?
That's like,
and for everybody else to have everything they ever fucking need. We have it. We can do it. Angers me.
the top 1% of the United States have a combined wealth of $52 trillion.
The United
as of this
States,
year.
the United States annual GDP is 37 trillion, right?
Yeah. So the combined wealth of the top 1% of Americans is $52 trillion. We would not have a budget. We would not have a federal debt.
The whole global economy is less than 100 trillion.
If all of that wealth was spread across the entire population, if the lower 99% held that $52 trillion, we would be paying so much taxes on that $52 trillion, there would be no federal debt.
Yeah. Wow. That.
But instead, we don't tax the wealthy because you people think you're fucking temporarily embarrassed billionaires who just someday, man, you're going to be so rich, you're going to be glad taxes on the wealthy are low.
Global GDP is 111 trillion, right?
Yeah.
So
the top
1% of the United States has as much assets and wealth as it would take to fund an entire 6 months
of the global
economy.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't really translate, obviously, because it's not all sitting in.
And this is annual. It's
Right.
110 trillion annually.
Right, but I'm just looking at the the value of that is 6 months out of the last year's economy.
And how many people does that top 1%? Like, how many individuals is that? What's the number of people? I don't know.
Well, I mean, the United States is
36 million.
Yeah. So
I don't know how many of that 335 million is like in the top 1%. I don't know exactly where the top 1% begins either.
well, be
What is the top 1% of earners? Like what's that wealth level start at? I think it might be around like 40 or 50 million, I think, something like that. Maybe lower. I don't have this. It's just occurring
I want
to
to
me.
look at that. Let's see.
It's just occurring to me that I don't know the answer, so we'll look it up and we'll have the answer going forward, and I will never forget it because that's how
by
my brain
annual
works.
income, the top 1% in the United States is starts at $787,712.
Okay. How many individuals make that much?
I mean, it would be. That's 1%, so it'd be divided by of income earners though. So
because that's the top 1% of the in terms of like wealth.
$1.1, 1.3 million Americans
Okay. But what's 1.3 million?
or households. 1.3 million households.
52 trillion divided by 1.3 million households? What's the average wealth of the top 1%? Total wealth. Like, this is all assets, not just liquid cash. We have to specify that because most of this wealth exists only on actuarial charts and in computers. It's not real money.
Looks like 40 million per household. That's the.
Whew.
Yeah.
How much do you make a year? Friendo?
What's your wealth? What's your net? What is your net wealth? What is your net value?
Is your net wealth more than the value of your car and whatever's in your bank account today?
Yeah. And do you have a net?
Do you have a bank account?
As I mean,
Not everybody does.
right, but a fair number of Americans, right? Like they have a mortgage and they have a car loan,
Right.
right?
Those aren't assets they own.
Right.
Not yet.
Like their net worths.
Theoretically, something you have a negative net worth.
Yeah, lots of Americans have a negative net worth. There's 1.3 million households that are averaging 40 million a pop amongst them and making $787,000 a year or more, right? Or the value of their assets are growing by $787,000 a year,
Yeah.
right? So that's happening to them, and yet I wonder what percentage of Americans have a negative net worth.
Let's
What
find out. Let's do some
percentage?
quick internet sleuthing. Because I am curious now.
I am.
How bad is the number? How bad is the number?
1 in 4.
1 in 4. So 25%.
1 out of every 4 people in the United States, 25% of the American population, has a net worth below zero.
What's 1/4 of 335 million? It ain't small.
No.
About like 85, 90 million people.
Yeah. There's 1.3 million households in the United States that have $52 trillion in wealth. And the rest of us are either somewhere in between that number and zero.
Or
below
negative,
zero.
yeah.
Negative.
And this is only getting worse every single day.
You know, the crazy part is, right? Crazy part about having a negative net worth, right? Is you see, everybody's asset is somebody else's liability, and everybody else's liability is somebody's asset, right? That's how debt works, right? So all of those, every person in America who owes more than they're worth to somebody, right? Those somebodies own that as an asset.
It's their wealth.
It's their wealth. Correct.
So that $52 trillion represents how much you owe to the rich people.
Yeah.
In some sizable part, not all of it.
Not all of it, but a
vast, probably about 25%.
like, because also we got to look at how we finance companies in this country, right? It is a combination of your 401ks, which are a scam designed to get average Joe's money in the market in large amounts.
Pensions are expensive, man.
Not big enough to control a company, right?
Right.
Like, but in big pools that move slower than the wealthy do, right? They are not as adaptive. They're not as fast. They're not buying, selling, and trading.
But it does make you, as a normal individual, think that it's real important what the stock market's doing on any given day.
It does. So you care so much about what the market is doing all the time because it's really important.
As long as that number
401k.
go up, you think it's okay.
Yeah. But meanwhile, what you're doing is you are creating a backstop, an insurance policy for the rich, right? Because when they start selling, like, you know, there's 100 million people's 401ks out there in the world, right? And when they know that a company is about to have a bad day, the billionaire starts selling chunks of his fucking stock, right? But it doesn't go down all that much because, well, the company still has all these institutional investors, right, holding the value of the company. Because I mean, look, they've only a percentage of the stock is sold, right? And then when it does crap out, you take the hit, right? Because you moved slower, right? You're the last out, first in, last out. That's how they fuck you.
Your poverty ensures the wealthy stay rich.
Yes,
that's why you have to stay impoverished. That's why we are not allowed to have nice things.
And you know who came up with that observation succinctly?
Who's that?
I'm going to say one of the most radical economic and political thinkers in global history. And no, I'm not talking about Karl fucking Marx. For every rich man, there must be 500 poor, and if not for the stiff hand of the civil magistrate, he could not sleep at night, afraid for his possessions and his person.
What radical communist said that?
Adam Smith, the man who essentially theorized capitalism as we know it, created the idea of liberal market capitalism, because liberalism, as he argued, required some forms of wealth distribution and redistribution. It required regulation. It required strong courts that were designed not to be legal systems that protected the wealthy from the people, but the people from the wealthy, not through legalism, but through laws towards equity and justice.
The amount of regulation of the markets that he thought was necessary to keep the markets functioning and egalitarian is not small.
No. And he knew that wealth inequality was dangerous. He argued for essentially a sovereign wealth fund, a proto-UBI, a proto-negative income tax, whatever you want to call it. Because UBI versus negative income tax, we can argue about which one's better. They're about the same but different, right?
A negative income tax is probably easier to sell.
Right. It's also a great way of making sure that
semantics.
The rich pay it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The wealthy can't really utilize that kind of a system, right? But either way, Adam Smith was the radical fucking communist thinker who came up with that idea, because this is bad, guys. This is fucking bad. And this is how we get to a President Donald Trump and a country ruled by fucking morons and double tap drone strikes, all while we fucking have AI take away everybody's fucking jobs, and not really by actually doing anything, but because we need to lay people off so that companies can afford their AI investments. That's what's happened. It's not even taking the jobs.
It's like AI is so amazing because it's like they're running a Ponzi scheme on themselves.
Yeah.
And you've got all these AI companies who are just like paying each other the same chunk of money, just shuffling it back. The same $100 billion just keeps getting shuffled.
Yeah, we talked about
five
the AMD
companies
deal at length,
over and over again, and they have this imagined wealth that doesn't exist.
Because that's where the rest of the money comes from in the system. Debt, right? Lending is funding it all, and it's all coming out of the government's coffers, other companies' coffers, but the coffers of guys like you and me and everybody else who fucking have savings accounts, right? And they keep us all locked in debt so that we can pay our 13% to the bank so that the bank can lend it to fucking Corporation A at 3%, who's going to lend it to Corporation B at 6%, right? Yeah. They're making money, we're losing every fucking time. And I'm losing my goddamn mind over it because we have a president that's getting thanked for stopping hurricanes, and the American people haven't started a fucking revolution yet. Like,
the American people, how do I put this?
It's nuts.
How do I put this? The American people suck.
They suck.
They suck. The majority, not you, fine listener.
Not you.
You.
But the racist.
You're here with us. You know what we know.
The
and
racist,
that makes you cool.
petty, vindictive goons.
Yeah, because all of the things that we could have that we don't have because scared white people don't like the idea of black and brown people having those same things. So we don't have free college because the schools had to be desegregated, and that meant black and brown people got to go to school for free. Oh, suddenly college becomes expensive. Out of fucking nowhere. Yeah. We don't have universal health care because, under our current system, health outcomes for black and brown people are worse than health outcomes for even poor white people, and we really don't want them to have better health outcomes, so we better make sure nobody gets it.
And because rich people make money off of this every fucking time. That's, like, the problem is, while there's all this racism, it's hiding, there's a class war happening against every one of us, right? Because guess what? When you start to run out of fucking other people to fuck over too, you've got to get to the rest of us, right? Yeah. The reason poor white people are still poor isn't because of black people. It's not fucking immigrants.
In Stephen Miller's Dream America, where there are only 100 million people, and they are all white, do you think that means you will be anything but a slave to your billionaire masters? You will live in a fucking company town. You will live in a fucking hovel. You will be treated like dirt, and you will be expected to be thankful for it.
Yeah, what kind of dream world is that? Think. Yeah, on its face, your brain immediately goes, well, all the resources, right? That's your first thought.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, makes sense, but it's not, because you got to follow the tape through, right? Like, okay, yeah. Well, if the country was a third of the population, then like housing would be cheap and everything would be cheap, except it wouldn't, because you don't have the diversity in your economy. You don't have anybody to pick the crops, to wash the floors, to take out the trash, to build the things, right? Like, there's always going to be labor that sucks, and we don't value it well enough to pay for it.
Yeah, slavery is technically unconstitutional unless it's punishment for a crime, and we have criminalized essentially all normal human behavior.
Exactly.
Everything you do in any given day is technically some kind of illegal at this point.
We are the most over-policed, over-prisoned population on the planet, and we call ourselves the land of the free.
By both per capita and in total raw numbers.
Not just total raw numbers. Like, look, total raw numbers, we are, among the 5 most populated countries on the planet. Cool. Okay, yeah. No.
China has 4 times as many people as us and fewer prisoners.
Fewer prisoners.
Total numbers, not lower per capita. And I know some of you, not you fine listeners, but some of you dipshits out there have a hard time understanding what per capita means, but it's
per
person.
Yeah, per person. So
per person.
So how many people for every X number of people are there, right? So that's really simple. So out of 100, right, is your usual per capita, you take it off of 100, right? Yeah. That way it gives you a nice, even percentage number.
Right. Unless you're dealing with, like, very small percentages, and then you make it usually 100,000.
Yeah.
Crime statistics are usually per 100,000 for that reason, because crime is way lower than you think.
Yeah. Like,
especially over the last 30 years.
In the most dangerous and crime-ridden and high murder areas of the country, if you take the places with the absolute worst crime, which particularly I got to point out are always these like mid-sized red cities, right? Like red state, small town, fucking bullshit places.
Like in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, cities like that and shit.
Yeah.
Right. But if you take most dangerous place in America, your odds of being murdered are still only like fucking technically like 0.1 in 100.
Yeah, it was like 18 in 100,000 is like a bad murder rate.
Yeah, that's like that's 0.18%.
Yeah,
it's terrible, but like that means that most people in the city won't be murdered. And
like won't
even experience.
Here's how you can tell whether or not your city has a high crime rate or not. If every time someone gets shot, it makes the news, you don't have a bad crime rate.
Right.
That's like here. Like, oh my God, somebody's shot and not even killed, and it's like news for days. Like, did you hear somebody got shot?
Right.
Well, yeah, that means people are not getting shot that often, which means it's rare, which means the crime rate is low, except for property crime.
Yeah, at least I will give Chicago credit, because when they don't have a shooting, they have the like how many people got shot over the weekend. Yeah, like story.
But it's also like it's also very rarely like if you look at the number of people killed and the number of people have shot, they are wildly different numbers.
Yes,
a lot of motherfuckers getting wounded.
Yeah, but
in Chicago.
But Mondays you get the city had a relatively deadly weekend with 17 people shot. Like that at least they do it in numbers. Like they're just But still,
you want a good indication of how
Chicago.
Crime rates have dropped. Let's look at Baltimore.
Oh, God, yeah.
The city of Baltimore. Baltimore over the since I've been paying attention, which is the entirety of my life, I grew up in Maryland, it usually averaged somewhere around 340 to 370 murders, homicides per year. Now, this is a city with like less than 500,000 people. I think it's got like 380,000 people or something like that.
So it's not a small city.
Not a small city, but it's like 350 to 380 murder. Like I think it maxed out at like 369. So more than a murder a day. As of like November 1st, I believe it was through, they had only had 109 homicides.
Wow.
It was down 200. Like That's insane. And this is just because, like,
that still makes it one of the most dangerous cities in America as far as
Right.
homicides go. But guess what? Also, it just got a lot safer.
it's two-thirds safer.
2/3 safer. Like the country, like, and it has nothing to do with being tough on crime. That's the other thing that drives me
That's the
crazy
thing,
about this. Yeah, like,
because Baltimore has moved away from like over policing and moved into a lot of like community intervention where you've got like dudes in their 30s like just interacting with younger people who are in like high crime areas to like keep them out of trouble, and it's working great.
giving kids third spaces and food and making sure that they don't grow up in poverty, right? Like that helps.
People are a lot less likely to commit a crime if they're not starving.
Yeah. Like, you know, we know two environmental things that had a huge impact, the biggest being environmental lead, the second being Roe v. Wade, right? Like, yes, there's a lot of argument about the Roe piece. I personally believe that it had an impact.
It probably had some impact. It is interesting that, like, at the time that it would have started having an impact was at the exact same time that environmental lead going down would have started having an impact. So it's hard to, like,
Yes.
parse out, like, how much each one played.
Right.
The lead obviously played a lot. Like,
Yes.
we know what the impact on behavior lead poisoning is.
You know what's interesting is from the natural experiment, you can kind of maybe tease out what one of the bigger things is. For every 10% for a 10% reduction in environmental lead, right? 10 years later leads to a 6 to 8% decline in crime.
That's amazing.
Right. So there's your gap right there.
I expect
You know, like-
I expect this means that we will be imminently rolling back all regulations on environmental lead in the United States of America.
I mean, fuck, we're working on asbestos right now, aren't we?
Yes.
That is what we're. They're like wanting to put asbestos back in our building materials. They're rolling back environmental protections
like-
for everything.
Is the mesothelioma lawyer lobby that strong and big?
I mean,
Like, do they need the business that bad?
I mean that's the thing is they haven't had a big class action in years. The commercials have gotten quiet because they're.
I remember the last time I saw one.
Yeah, everybody either sued or died because we got rid of this shit 30 years ago. More than that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a while ago.
it was a while ago. But we did these things to fucking fix things. We've got national parks closing because we're not putting the money into fixing their water infrastructure. So the hotels at the Grand Canyon are closing,
Yeah.
right? We couldn't build the Hoover Dam these days because it would be we couldn't have the political will or the spending. But we'll spend $1 trillion on a jet that won't work
We can't-
and let Elon Musk get paid by the government over and over and over again for shit that doesn't work right.
We can't do anything about the fact that there are 65,000 structurally unsound bridges in the United States.
But we've got 1.3 million families that have
An average of
$52 trillion. That's where we're at. And I don't know, man. I'm flabbergasted by the status of things.
It's hard. What do you do? What does an average person do with all this information? Like
and
I mean, I know it all. Is it helping me? Not knowing it wouldn't be good, but does knowing help? I don't know. I don't even know the answer to that one. Like, not knowing definitely makes things worse, but knowing doesn't make them better either.
yeah.
What do you do? What do you do in a situation like this? Where do you go from here?
I mean, I think that it's really important for average people to get more political. Like, really engaged.
Yeah, we would not have this issue if even something like our voter turnout. If our voter turnout on a good year didn't mean that like 68% of eligible voters voted.
Right.
That's an amazingly high turnout.
We developed these weird little cultural cliches about not talking about politics and religion, right? Like, and celebrating people who are not informed and saying that every opinion is as equal as every other opinion.
Every informed opinion.
Like, it's garbage. It needs to change, man. People need to fucking get out there and do something, and not in a weird conspiratorial, oh, something's coming. Candace Owens says that something big is coming so that we can fall. Like, yeah, if a false flag happens, a false flag happens. Like that fucking shooting in D.C. Like, I don't think it's a false flag.
It's weird.
But it's weird.
It's
weird.
weird.
But setting aside any of the weirdness, right? Here's what happened that we do know. We raised a child soldier, right? We had him in a death squad in Afghanistan.
As a 15-year-old.
As a 15-year-old, where he murdered civilians. Then we brought him to the United States because the Taliban was going to kill him. Right?
And then we abandoned him.
And we abandoned him, and we abandoned people that he worked with and under.
Yeah.
And including a close commander of his, who has been murdered by the Taliban since.
Yeah.
Right? And that has all led to somebody that the CIA broke from childhood killing 2 National Guardsmen.
Right. Who should not have been in D.C. anyway.
They shouldn't have been in D.C.
Those
anyway.
two, West Virginia, and apparently, like, they were brand new to the Guard.
Yeah. So, look,
Like, brand new, immediately sent to D.C. and immediately shot and killed.
Yeah. I don't know if there is or is not any kind of conspiratorial bullshit behind it. I don't care. What I do care about is that the CIA raised a fucking child killer, and we as a country abandoned these people after fucking them up for decades. Yeah. And he killed some people here, probably. And if he did it for a real reason, it's because he's angry at our country for what we did to him, to the people he loved and he cared about. And God damn it, he was right to be angry.
Assuming blowback alone, it's still our fault.
Yeah. Like, blowback alone, we did this.
And I will say, and I mentioned this on TikTok, and I've spoken it to you. I did notice walking home the other night past the National Guard armory that's in my neighborhood.
Right.
Less than a week after 2 members of the National Guard were murdered, at no point in the aftermath of that were the flags at half-staff. They were half-staff for Charlie Kirk. He got flags half-staff nationwide.
For a week. He was an idiot podcaster.
Two members of the National Guard, like even not on a National Guard base.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
They're going to try to ride Charlie Kirk's death as long as they possibly can.
And it's not working.
That corpse is giving them so much mileage, but they're grinding him into the fucking road. Like, he's paste by this point because nobody fucking cares about Charlie Kirk except for you fucking lunatics. Yeah, some people in the normie camp were a little bit sad for a little bit about fucking, the idea that, oh, politics has gotten here. So fucking what? You people did this. Charlie Kirk did this, right?
Yeah, he created the environment that got his ass killed.
Yeah, and it created the environment where we have a president who is being thanked for stopping hurricanes.
Yeah, that's bad. That's fucking...
Get more engaged. If you know people who are like, oh, I don't pay attention to politics, slap them. They're stupid.
Just fucking hit them.
Like...
Back of the hand.
Like, stop letting people just be like, oh, this is all going to be fine. Everybody wants to just wish we will wake up back in normalcy. Normal is what got us here.
We have several generations of work to do to fix the problems we have in this country at this point. The problems that have been created since January 21st. We have decades of work to undo the damage.
And guess what? That's just a symptom. This is just the natural result of letting your government over-police you and make it a moral obligation to be as cruel as you possibly can to criminals and others and whatever, and jingoistic and fucking wishing war were as deadly as it could possibly be, and all of these other fucking American exceptionalist fantasy bullshits that we've done, while also empowering our government to just murder people, right? And every other erosion of the rule of law that we've allowed to this point, this is just the outcome that you get from it. We got to fix everything that we've done in this fucking country. It's
and for a lot of people, that involves starting with yourself. Yeah. Get your shit together. Get your head out of your ass. Stop being a piece of shit. Fucking read a goddamn book.
Right?
Think. Have a thought. Have a fucking thought.
So, what I am thankful for this past Thanksgiving is that I am not among the percentage of the population that is willing to think this is okay.
No. And what I am
I'm
not thankful
for
for
that.
is that I have to be fucking burdened by those of you who are.
Right? I think that's a good place to end it. What do you think?
I think it's a good place to end
All
it.
right. Do we have any good news for Sam? I mean, the Luigi Mangione thing.
Luigi Mangione thing's
That
pretty
was
good
good.
news.
That was good
That's
news.
pretty good news.
I
got nothing else.
got nothing else.
Nothing
We
else.
will be back next week, probably with a little bit more structure. This week, we just we had some things to get off our chests.
We had a plan, and then I forgot it.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
We
and
did.
poof, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Till next time.
Next week, we're going to go over the year, I guess, because it's that'll be the last one. Actually, no, not the last one.
We're coming up on the end of the.
Yeah,
We're
coming
gonna
up
have
on
to
the
do
end.
a year-end retrospective, aren't we? God damn
A
it.
year-end retrospective.
Fuck. I'll try to get some good clips.
How
We'll
is
try to make it a big multimedia event.
how
I
has
guess.
2025 been for us and you, fine people? Not good. It's been a year. I don't know, man.
And like, in so many ways, this shit hasn't even like personally directly impacted us.
no, I mean,
Like, if I wanted to be uninformed, I could pretend none of this was happening
yeah,
and not. I mean, I would feel like having less cash on hand
like
week to week, but otherwise,
I mean, I've been feeling it with the economy. I feel it with the fear and issues in like the trans community that I've got friends with, right? You know,
but if you
But
didn't
otherwise,
care, you could not care.
you could, but
You have the theoretical privilege of not caring if you didn't want to.
man,
Same with me.
You could be shocked. You're gonna be shocked when this does blow up. When this is going to cause problems eventually.
Way worse than what we're seeing now.
Right. Like the geopolitical outcomes of just the bumbling we've done as far as damage to foreign policy and our relationships around the world. Like that's going to have ripple effects.
And re-electing this idiot, no one is going to trust us for generations.
I wouldn't.
I don't.
I don't trust us anymore. I don't trust that we can make the right decision. Not without a more durable system of democracy and checks and balances put into place. Like, you know, a genuinely
real consequences.
With real consequences.
Real,
right.
you're going to prison consequences.
And yeah, that's also part of having a democratic republic, right? Like, if you want to exist in a nation that is governed by, for, and of the people, you have to govern against the short-term impulses that are damaging.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'll say it, if fucking France can send an ex-president to prison, so can we.
Pretty much every developed country has arrested, like, ex-presidents,
Prime
ex-prime ministers, senior government
chancellors.
officials, chancellors. Like, the governments of the world do that. We don't.
We should let Brazil be our example,
Weirdly enough.
of all places.
Yeah.
It's not just for cool heavy metal anymore.
All right. This has been The Grift. I'm Riverdale.
I'm Gonzo.
Good night.